Hey, this is the Fight Nerd, and joining me today is MMA legend and one of the busiest men in combat sports, Bas Rutten. Bas, how are you today?
I'm doing great, my friend. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Now, today we're here to talk about the brand new show you have coming out on Fuel TV called Payback, and it's the only show on TV that has Bas Rutten beating up people for 30 minutes, so it's already awesome. I just had a chance to watch it today. It's a lot of fun. So, Bas, just kind of tell us a little bit about what the show is.
Well, the show is, everybody knows me from YouTube, pretty much. If you don't know me from mixed martial arts, you know me from YouTube, or the people who are watching the crazy clip in the bar, dang-a-da-dang-a-da-dang, that kind of fighting. Now, what we're doing is we're taking video clips from situations that went wrong. For instance, there's a robbery at a gas station. We look at that footage, I narrate over the footage, and then I say, okay, now let's see what we could have done. So then we built the same set. We put me in the spot of the victims. Me in the spot of the victims, and then I show the people at home how to deal with punks, as we call them. That's what we call the criminals, like that. And we do it with a smile, but everything that I show works for real. It's not like total comedy, but it's light presented, but everything is, of course, it's dead serious when it comes to technique.
Absolutely. Now, there are a lot of serious moments on the show, but there is some pretty wacky stuff, too. Like in the episode I had a chance to watch, there was a dude trying to rob a store with a palm tree. So can you give us a little hint about some of the more unusual things we can expect to see on the show from some of the dumber robbers?
Guys who try to disguise themselves with thongs. And they're like, oh, really? You want to do that? Another guy comes in with I think it's like an 8-foot pole. Like a huge pole, and we call it, I call it a long-range weapon, which he takes to a short-range fight, and that's, then I start talking about that you can't do that, you get one shot with a thing like that, and then it's totally useless, and more things like that. A guy just totally comes in with plastic bags on his feet, not thinking about, maybe that might be slippery, if I have to run out. Just dumb people. It's unbelievable. People coming in like, with the bottle, what you see, he's asking for $50. I go, dude, if you rob a place, you might as well go all the way. But the sentence you're going to get if they catch you is exactly the same. So give me everything you got would be the better verbiage right there. But no, they come in and you need something for $50, I guess. I don't know.
It looks like you had a lot of fun filming the show and thinking of defense techniques that weren't just knees to the groin. So let me ask you, how much of what happens was scripted and how much of it was actually improv on the scene?
Everything is improv. Everything, there's nothing scripted. There's no script. There's literally we show the footage to say, okay, boss, tomorrow we're going to do these two. But then I look at the footage, and then I go over it in my mind, and that's most of the time. That's it. Now you see me making those like smart comments. There are things that I talk about the Pancrase. There's 2,500 different species, but actually in the real, when we did it, I said, oh, they got different flowers. They got the leaves. You have palmetto, and you got I know everything about the palm. So you put little anecdotes like that in there, and those have to. I memorize those kind of things, but for the rest, I shoot from the hip.
So it's really just boss being boss, basically.
That's it. Boss being boss, and then sometimes we do a take and then we say, wait, this could be funnier than this. And then somebody screams something. I do these really corny things the whole time, like, what do I say? I beat a guy up with a bag of money, with some change. And then I say, for instance, stupid criminals, they never change. And then I look at the camera, I go, get it? Change? Then I hold the bag of change, and then, and then those kind of things, we needed assistance from the crew, because to come up with really corny ones that are so corny that they're funny, it's that was hilarious. And sometimes somebody else says, actually, use this and use that, and then everybody throws in their 2 cents from camera guy to director to everybody, and we'll put it all together.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of fun. Now, talk about that first episode again that I had a chance to look at. One of the things you said in the show is that some crimes that happen in broad daylight are because people are afraid to actually get involved, especially because there are serious consequences that you could pay for legally or physically. Now, can you tell us more about the legal side of self-defense and why people should be less afraid to defend themselves or defend others?
Oh, You know, you talked to the wrong guy here. What you will see me also doing at the shows is, you know, if somebody comes with a gun and is asking for your wallet, give him the wallet. Come on, I'm going to be the last one to say, okay, grab that gun. You know, and then if that happens, then I say, okay, I'll make up an excuse. You know, maybe said something bad about my wife. I say, we can't do that. You know, now I got to take the gun away. No, this is how you take the gun away. You know what? Actually, on the street. With what I found out, if somebody attacks you, you can hit back. You know, so if somebody takes a swing at you, and make sure you got some video or you got people around it who see that, you know, yeah, you can beat them back. But then there's always, of course, excessive force that you don't want to use. If the guy just swings at you and he has no weapon in his hand, you don't want to reconstruct his face. Then again, if a guy comes at you with a knife, you know, now there's a possibility you might die. You know, or two guys with a knife. And I think that in that particular case, yeah, you can defend yourself with your life. So I think it would be understandable if somebody would die. But we won't go there with the show. We really try to avoid those kind of clips because that's when, you know, taking it to the next level. And then you're going to need to be a little bit more serious. But what also happens is that if we really take those serious moments and I tell the people at home what you can do against it, that means that the bad people at home, you know, they say, wait a minute, so if I do this and this and this, you know, so that's why with like really dangerous situations, we like to stay away from it. We want to keep it light, you know, and in all the clips that you see, nobody ever got hurt. So it's not like, oh, this guy got shot, the other guy got stabbed. No, nobody ever got hurt. Really bad, I mean, then, you know, sure, somebody got pulled out of a wheelchair, for instance, you know, and then the camera goes back to me and I go, okay, you know, now the attitude changes, you know, okay, now let me show you what I would do. And then, of course, I go down on a guy like that.
Right now, I know that Bas Rutten never puts all of his eggs in one basket. I know you're always working on something else. So are you doing any movies right now as well?
Oh, you know, I originally shot that movie with Kevin James and Andrew Winkler, Salma Hayek. That's my first big part in a major motion picture, so to say. It's going to come out next year, so it's going to take a while. I think at the end of next year also. But it opened a lot of eyes, and because some other people saw it already, so you know, I got some great hookups and working on some other things already. I think the TV show is perfectly overlapped. I talked to people who saw the movie and they saw also the first episode, and man, they literally pulled people out of meetings. Said, no, let people wait there in the meeting. You got to come and see this. This is hilarious. You know, so everybody seems really to enjoy it. I think it's a nice way to also put me back, to push me further a little bit more. You know, the people say, oh, you know, actually he can do more stuff than just be a crazy guy, you know, because if you see it and you realize there's no script, you know, there's still a lot of stuff, a lot of information, you know, with the weapons, how many cases, how many percentages the weapon, it's a gun, it's a net, you know, all those kind of things, you know, you have to, at the spot, start memorizing, of course, and thank God. I've been really good with that. I think what really helped me also is that 5 years ago, I said, you know what, maybe I shouldn't drink as much anymore.
That might help a little.
At that moment, my career really started to take off. I guess that people maybe thought it was a liability or something, I don't know, because I never messed up. But, you know, you never know what might happen. You say, oh, you know, he likes to party, but what if he likes to party on Friday evening, and on Saturday we have a show, you know, if something happens on Friday, then he can do the show on Saturday. So, you know, it just makes perfect sense. And it was not like I was drunk every day, but, you know, there's this an age that you say, you know what, I don't need to party every week anymore and go out with my buddies. Let's stay in. And I made that decision. I think it was a great decision. You know, and then the Cartoon Network, of course, came along and all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, you know, that's the moment that you don't use profanity anymore. You know, it's so easy to say the F word, you know, but then it's all good because it kind of cleans you up also. And then you realize that you don't need that stuff. You know, and it's actually way cooler not to use it.
Yep, I agree, and you know, I gotta say, Payback is definitely a great vehicle to showcase all your different skills. If you get a chance to fight, get a chance to do your action, get a chance to talk, it's the perfect showcase for Bas Rutten.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, that's right. That's again coming back to the no script. They just let me do what I enjoy doing, and the way I want to present it. You know, it's not like, okay, make it too serious. I never believed in that. And, you know, I've always been a teacher. You know, if it's serious, it's serious. If I need to push you, I push you. But I always have, but at seminars, I always found out that if you teach something and you attach a little humor story to it, you know, that people remember that way better than when you start shouting and drilling at them. It goes one. It's the moment somebody screams at me, you know, for me, that's hollow words. You know, the guy who is in control is always the guy who speaks normal and you know, who keeps it light. You know, I don't need to walk around with my hands on my belt and scream at people, right. You know, I think it's so, there's barking dogs, I call them. Very insecure people always do that. The guy who's relaxed is way more dangerous.